Hello everyone, this is your Sandra Silberzweig Inspired Faces Part 3. Part 1 was the class we had together on Zoom. Part 2 is a video in your assignments. And this is Part 3. So this is what we did together on Part 1 when we were together on Zoom. We had an outline of your face. Then Part 2 is you began filling in each part of the face with analogous colors taken from the color wheel. Then we added even more details and began to fill in the other features of the face. And this is pretty much where we left off. Today, we are going to add even more depth by darkening certain areas, adding darker colors, and then adding pattern on top of our lightest areas to make sure it shows up. Okay, so let's begin. I'm going to work on this one, okay? In case you haven't colored it all in yet. What's the matter? Did you run out? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you continue, you can add any kind of design on top of what you already have. So I might take my black, I'll do a zigzag right there. And I'm gonna do zigzags across the whole eye. So you're adding layers on top. You may already have a zigzag on the nose. We did a little bit of that on the Zoom call. I might do a spiral here. And I think that looks pretty cool. I did not color this spiral, so I'm going to add it in. I want a contrasting color. So I have yellow here, and the contrast for yellow is purple or, well, it's purple, but I can use analogous colors. I can use blue. I'm going to start with purple. Put purple right here next to the yellow. So it's nice and bold. It's a really nice contrast, really bright. And next to the orange, I'm going to put blue because that is the contrasting color to orange. And that I think looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm going to add more purple. I have a couple different purples. This is like a pinkish purple. A rose color, magenta, and I have some really light purple, almost a gray. I think that looks cool. Then I have some hot pink. I'm going to add that in right over here. Hot pink, very cool. Okay, so now inside that is hot pink, which I love. I'm going to add some brightness down to the neck. Again, I have hot pink. I'm going to bring that down there because I really don't have that anywhere else on my picture. Okay, we're going to fill all this in. I'm going to take a really contrasting color and I'm going to, I can test it over here. I'm going to use it and I'm going to make some lines. I can use lines, dashes, dots, spirals, swirls, zigzags, anything that you can think of. You can use it to embellish your picture. Embellish is just a really fancy word for add to, decorate. And a lot of times what separates really, really good art is that it has more layers. It's been really, really thought about and worked on several times over so that the layers really add a lot of depth and dimension and thought to your picture. I like that right there. I'm going to add maybe just this sort of a, like flowers almost. Just start to get creative with the lines that you're going to create and add as many details as you can think of. The more colors, the more details, the more you incorporate, the more brilliant it's going to be. When you think an area is done, then move on to the next area. I'm going to move over here. I'm going to add some purple into the lips. I think that looks cool. I'm going to add some purple right here near the cheek. I'm going to echo these lines and make like little parentheses brackets. That I think looks really cool. I'm going to do something right here. I'm going to take a dark crayon. I have dark green. Maybe I can find a darker green. The darkest that I have. And put some marks over here. It's kind of the same. This one I think is darker. Yeah, that's the darkest. That's nice. I'm going to put some marks over here. They show up pretty well. And then I'm going to add even more marks. Maybe over here. Maybe some, I did purple already, so maybe I'll do some blue. Put some dots. Even making it go off the page. And I'm going to do a zigzag over here. I like that a lot. And so at least, at least 6 or 7 different areas. Now, what you're going to notice is in some areas, you can create more depth. Up here in this corner, what I did was I colored this with a turquoise, and then I used a darker turquoise on the right side to create depth. I did the same thing with the orange. I colored it with a medium orange, and I used a darker reddish orange to create depth in each one of those squares. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Is I have my color, and I'm going to get a little bit of a darker color and go in and color it again to make it a deeper color, especially right here. I want to create some depth right there. And I'm going to lighten up as I go in order to make it look darker around the edges. See that? So it's lighter here, but it blends in. So it's not just a sharp line, it's blending in. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I started over here a little bit. I'm going to do it a little bit more to emphasize it. And as I get to the center, I'm lightening my pressure, easing on my pressure, so it's darker on the edge and lighter in the center. I'm going to do the same thing here with the orange. Let me find my nice dark orange, and let me find my reddish orange. Yes. Okay, so I want my reddish orange, and I'm going to darken it close to the nose and right under the eye. And then I'm going to lighten up the pressure so that it gets lighter as I go to the center. See how that creates a depth? It creates an illusion of depth. And do the same thing on the cheek. Down the cheek a little bit. and I'm creating depth. That's really cool. I'm going to do the same thing here and here with the purple. It's pretty dark already, but I'm just going to go in and I'm going to press a little bit harder than I did the first time. And then I'm adding layers. And then I have to soften it. The only way to make this work is to blend it in, okay? You have to blend it, otherwise you're going to have a harsh line. And that's not what we're going for. See how I made that darker? I'm going to do the same thing, but with blue now. I'm going to find a nice deep blue. And I'm going to go right along the edge. And I'm going to blend it in on the edge and blend it in. And see how that makes it look more like it has more depth. I'm going to do the same thing right over here with, this is yellow, so I'm going to go with a light orange. Okay, it's all yellow right now. I'm going to add some orange along the edge just to give it a little bit more depth. Okay, see that? It's so interesting how you can do that with just a little bit of pressure, a little bit of pressure change. Okay, and I'm going to add some dark purple over here. Actually, this is blue over the purple. That's going to create some depth right there for my picture. Cool. I am very happy with that. I'm going to add some orange in the eyebrow here because you see I have this white area. I want to fill it in. I'm going to add orange right here, just in these little shapes. So I don't want to leave any white except for the white in the eyes. Cool. And this is how your finished product is going to be. We're going to fill in the background completely. I'm going to do some red. I'm going to create some red stripes maybe. I want to make it a solid uniform block of color so it comes out looking cool. I'm going to put green right next to it because green and red are complements. So that is going to make the red pop out even more. The red is going to pop out and the green is going to pop out because when you put them next to each other, it strengthens the impact of the color. It's just like an optical illusion in your eye, on your eye, is that the brain will pick up the differences in those colors even more. And then next to it, I will put some blue just because I like it. And now blue is analogous to purple, and this is a purplish red, and blue is analogous to green. So this is kind of like, this one more blends in, whereas these two pop out. And on the other side, I'm going to use purple. Why would I choose purple on this side? Because it's right next to yellow. And I'm going to use orange right here. And yellow as well. And again, I'm going to use purple. When you color in, you want to color firmly, okay, so that you're creating a really rich area of color, not just a light dusting of color. Of course, there's different styles of coloring, okay, but being as we don't have, you know, other media like, you know, deep, rich paint or oil pastels, you can use the crayons nice and firm and it will give you a really great result. If you're using colored pencils with this, that is also great because you can use those and they really have good blending qualities. And with colored pencils, the best thing is that you can layer. And the layering really comes out beautiful. With crayons, it's a little bit harder to layer because the wax from the crayon builds up, and then once you get onto the top layers, it's a little bit harder. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, hold on one second. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some blue to the neck, right where I have these triangles. And I'm going to create blue, and I'm going to use the complement of blue, which is orange. So in the opposing triangles, I'm going to put orange. That is going to create like a popping out effect. And here's the orange. Here. Here. And that creates a pretty strong contrast. The blue and the orange together. And we're almost done. The last thing I'm thinking to do is to use some turquoise to create some dots over here on the eyelid, and I think that will be cool. Just wanted a little something else in that area. And in these spirals, I think I'm going to darken it a little bit to create a little depth. I don't know if you could see that on the camera. I put a little purple inside, and I think that looks cool. I'm going to add a little bit more pink right here. It's like a pinkish maroon. I had it colored very light, but I kind of want to make it a little stronger. And I think that I am happy with this. I feel like I had a lot. One place I could add maybe a little bit more definition is in these bubbles. Maybe I can add some black. I didn't think it was contrasty enough having the purple in there. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I can't wait to see the awesome things that you guys come up with, and have fun. See you guys later.